I have been in Mexico for 1 month, and so far, I love it here. It has been a pretty wild month. I flew down here at the beginning of May in Santiago de Querétaro. This was really my first time getting outside of the US. Sorry, I don't count Canada as an international trip from the United States. It's just not. What we're doing here is taking the sort of proof of concept that I built of ways to look for places to travel and live and to get to know the place really rapidly, to get off the beaten path, to know what it's like to live there. And I have been doing that in countries all over the US for years at this point. I just went and got an agua de fresca, taking a walk, doing a little errand right now. But let me catch you up on what has been happening, because there's some stuff that's very relevant for the people who are watching this. And then I'll give you my first impressions of Mexico. So I flew down here with my cats, and I had this plan to fly all over, take them with. I had all the logistics worked out, you know, a little folding litter box and meds and airline compliant pet carriers and all the things. But it was really hard on them. And I just knew, like, the plan is that I'm gonna fly 4 times a year for the next 4 years at least. And I can't, it's just too much. So for a while, the dream was dead. I was here. I had no mission because the dream was dead. And I was trying to find ways to... Hola.
Hola, hola.
¿Cómo está? Bien. Yeah, picked up a tiny bit of Spanish. I speak none when I show up here, but I can at least be polite now. I've got enough words to be polite in most situations. So, plan was I'm going to come back to the US and I'm going to try to adapt this plan for this channel and all the social channels around it to doing some domestic travel. And I just, creatively, I could not get there. I had no passion for it. It was horrible. I hit this aha moment though, finally, after like 2 weeks of crushing depression. and I realized, look, I gotta fly with the cats on 2 more flights either way. So I was gonna hop from Mexico to New York and spend a week there. And then 1 more direct hop to Lisbon, Portugal. And at that point, I'm going to drive around instead. And I'm going to get by with ferries and ground transport. The cats can do that. They have driven all over this country with me. But flying with them is hell. And if it's something that you want to be an open door for you, I highly recommend you start getting that cat consistent reps with the airport from like as young of an age as you can. Because if the cat is not conditioned for that kind of commotion, it is going to be a hard flight for everybody involved. The next thing is that I maybe get bed bugs in my Airbnb. And that, my friends, that is a nightmare. And I'm gonna make a whole video about that because I've got some very useful intel for anybody caught in that situation. I've become an expert in the last couple of weeks. So that has created like a ton of work because I am a fucking clean freak, you guys. I gotta be thorough. I gotta be so thorough. I gotta contain. I've got to eradicate. So that's what we've done, and we're feeling confident that we've taken care of things. But hola.
Hola.
But we're not out of the woods yet. There's more more spraying to do now. So yeah, but we got it. We got that under control. So in addition to that, I have been seeing somebody down here since I met, and that's been fun. And I am actually going to do a whole video about going on Tinder as an American male in Mexico. I'm going to kind of give my thoughts more on that. But I have been getting the inside scoop. She's not only from Mexico, but she was born here in Querétaro and lived here most of her life. So she has been a tremendous fount of knowledge and recommendations, and we're going to be transmitting that all to you guys. So in terms of the mission, we're going to be here in Mexico for 10 months until March. We are going to make some trips along the way. I'm not decided, but I kind of have a feeling I'm going to probably hop into at least one other city for a couple months too, instead of staying in Querétaro the whole time, even though it's great here. Really great, kind of off the beaten path place to check out. And it's a major center of domestic travel here in Mexico. So Mexicans come here commonly for vacation and for business trips too. It's a big business hub here. And I really love it. It's been so great, my time here. All right, so first impressions from an American in Mexico for the first time, in Querétaro for the first time. The people here are lovely. I, as I mentioned, speak zero Spanish, and everybody has been very patient and understanding with me. A lot of people don't speak English, so be ready for that in the mountains of central Mexico. But they've been really kind people all along, everywhere I go, everybody I interact with. And so yeah, that's been really fantastic to experience. Okay, so the food. Food is a mixed bag, and I came here knowing Querétaro is it's not Oaxaca City. It's not a place that's renowned for its food scene, but there are very good restaurants that I've had here so far. Very good street food. Here's a problem, and I would guess that you'll find this kind of anywhere you look in Mexico. The Mexican people are known to be very nice, very kind, very polite, to the point where this has not been necessarily my experience anywhere else so far, but from what other Mexico YouTubers have told me, that they'll sometimes be indirect if they feel that it's going to be, offensive or hurt your feelings or whatever. You find a lot of restaurants that are very highly reviewed on places like Google Maps, but then they suck. And without the local perspective, I have been more miss than hit when I go out and just try a random place. Bad reviews can save you from a bad place, but good reviews won't help you find a good place. You need a recommendation from locals. So on my website, wayfindertv.com, you can buy my map. It's only $5. It will be updated throughout my whole trip and has a lot of spots back home in the US too. I will be adding to this throughout the trip. All of the best, restaurants I try and attractions I go to, hotels, things like that. And that will be a big help when you come to a place like Querétaro, or many cities in Mexico, presumably because of the culture. It would be helpful to be able to have an honest recommendation of a place. So, link in the description if you're interested in learning more about that. So far, I'm loving it here. I am stoked on Mexico. I am really excited to learn more about this place. And now, when I picked Querétaro, I had not yet committed as fully to this lifestyle, doing this as a lifestyle, documenting it on YouTube. And so if I were booking today, I might have chosen a different city. I was strongly considering Mexico City, Oaxaca City, Mérida, and Playa del Carmen, which would have been a disaster. The idea of me spending 3+ months in a beach party town is just not, that's not the fit. But when I was flying here, I was actually kind of worried that I would be disappointed, that I picked a place a little too, I don't know, mundane. And because the rest of my travel itinerary is very exciting. But I have really loved it here in Querétaro. I have found that it's got everything I want. History, colonial architecture, and all the aesthetic things. Great food. It's got great food. And it's just a really clean, safe city. And I love it. I had mentioned previously that I haven't really traveled outside of the US other than Canada, which again doesn't count. Not a 51st state thing, by the way. That was not. I'm just saying culturally, we're very accustomed to each other. We're aware of each other, so it's not as exotic of a jump. But one of the reasons that I picked Querétaro was that it is very clean and it is very safe. And I thought I didn't want to shock my system too bad. Because, I mean, let's be real. I think a part of what we're going to be documenting here is some fucking indoor kid rube learning how to become street smart, because otherwise he might die. Otherwise he might die. So, subscribe to find out, I guess. So if you haven't seen my story and what we're doing here at Wayfinder, I'd recommend watching this video next.